You walk into a room you've never been in, someone says a sentence you've never heard, and for about 2 seconds, your entire body is absolutely convinced you've lived this exact moment before. Same room, same words, same light hitting the same wall. Then it's gone, and you're left standing there thinking, what was that? That feeling has a name, déjà vu, French for already seen. And here's the strange part. After more than a century of research, scientists still don't have one single agreed upon answer for why it happens. But they've gotten a lot closer than most people realize. For most of history, déjà vu got explained away with big ideas, past lives, glimpses of parallel universes, psychic premonitions. It's an easy feeling to romanticize because it genuinely feels meaningful in the moment. But once researchers started actually studying it under lab conditions, the mystical explanations fell apart fast. Déjà vu isn't a memory of something that actually happened before. It's your brain's memory system briefly malfunctioning in a very specific, very ordinary way. Here's the idea most memory researchers currently favor. Déjà vu happens when your brain's familiarity system and your recollection system get out of sync. Normally, when something feels familiar, it's because your brain has actually retrieved a specific memory to back that feeling up. You see your friend's face, and your brain pulls up the actual memory of knowing them. But sometimes, the familiarity signal fires on its own, without an actual memory attached to it. Your brain says, I know this, a split second before it can explain why. And in that gap, you get a jolt of certainty with nothing behind it. That mismatch is what déjà vu actually feels like from the inside. There's a specific version of this theory that explains something oddly common. Déjà vu tends to happen most in situations with a similar spatial layout to somewhere you've already been. Researchers have found that even if you consciously don't remember a similar-looking place, your brain can still register the layout as familiar. A hallway with a door on the left and a window on the right can trigger recognition, even if the actual room is brand new. You're not remembering the room, you're remembering the shape. Neuroscientists studying epilepsy patients accidentally found one of the biggest clues here. Some patients with a specific type of seizure activity in the temporal lobe report intense, repeated déjà vu right before a seizure begins. When researchers electrically stimulated a structure called the rhinal cortex, part of the brain's memory circuitry, patients spontaneously reported déjà vu, even with no actual memory trigger present. That told researchers something important. Déjà vu isn't just a feeling, it's a specific, reproducible electrical event, and it can be triggered directly, without any real memory involved at all. This is part of why researchers increasingly describe déjà vu as a kind of internal error-checking system doing its job. One newer theory suggests déjà vu might actually be your brain's memory verification system catching a false alarm and correcting it in real time. Under this idea, a part of your brain briefly misfires and flags something as familiar. Another part of your brain, essentially your internal fact-checker, notices the mismatch almost instantly and produces that specific eerie feeling as a signal that something's off. Under this theory, déjà vu isn't a glitch at all. It's proof your memory system is working exactly as intended, catching its own error before it becomes a real false memory. Déjà vu is remarkably common. Most people experience it at some point, and it's especially frequent in people in their 20s. Interestingly, the frequency drops off significantly with age, which lines up with the memory mismatch theory. Younger brains are still fine-tuning that familiarity versus recollection system, so small misfires happen more often. People who travel frequently and people who remember their dreams vividly also tend to report more déjà vu, which fits the theory too. More novel environments and more raw material floating around in memory means more opportunities for a false familiarity signal to misfire. So the next time it hits you, standing in a room that feels impossibly familiar for no reason you can name, here's what's really going on. Your brain isn't showing you the past. It isn't glitching into some other timeline. It's doing something much less mystical and honestly a lot more impressive. Somewhere in your temporal lobe, a signal fired a half-second too early, declared something old that was actually new, and another part of your brain caught the mistake almost instantly. That eerie 2-second wave isn't a memory. It's your brain quietly correcting itself in real time, so quickly and so quietly that all you're left with is the ghost of a feeling and no idea where it came from.